Hello everyone, this is Group 6 and we'll begin our presentation about two leaders. Please, next page. Okay, we will start by defining leadership. We said leadership is the ability of an individual or a group of people to influence and guide followers or members of an organization, society, or team. We also look at leadership. It's critical for both political and business environment, driving strategies and transformation globally. We also look at, as a group, we critically evaluate the various leadership styles, examining how different theories and approaches applies to real-world leaders. This sets the stage for a deeper explanation of leadership concepts and preparation in the audience to think about what makes the effects of leaders in the world. So we're going to be looking at two leaders. We're going to be looking at Antonio Guterres, that's the UN Secretary. I'm going to be looking at Mary Barra, the General CEO of General Motors. Antonio Guterres. Antonio Guterres is the former Prime Minister of Portugal, serving as the UN Secretary General since 2017. We'll be looking at Antonio Guterres have a capacity of advocacy. We said that advocacy, Guterres strongly support collaboration, collaborative international effort, recognizing the global challenges required for global situation. We said Antonio Guterres is also a climate changer. He is known for his advocating agent action on climate change, positioning it as the one of UN's one of UN top priorities. We said Antonio Guterres also have strong communication, mediator, and global advocacy for peace. Next slide, please. So we'll be looking at situation theories of leaders. Leaders adopt their different styles to meet the demand of the different situation. So for Antonio Guterres, we said how to apply his theory. We said Antonio Guterres starts by explaining the situation through leadership suggestions, suggest leader. I would likely say that Antonio Guterres, if you look at his biography, you will say he's a born leader. So you could say that he adjusts the different styles to fit the demand of different situations. This flexibility helps them respond to effective defense, diverse changes. Application of Antonio Guterres highlights his exemplified the theories by adopting his leadership approach to various global crises. For example, he takes a supportive role in humanitarian crisis while using a more directive approach in organizing reforming at the UN. His strength, one of his strengths is crisis effectiveness. Antonio Guterres' adopt allows him to handle unpredictable crises effectively by tailoring his approach. Global inclusiveness. His style of leadership adjusts, promotes an inclusiveness and respect for different cultures and perspective within the UN. I would say one of Antonio Guterres' weakness. Next slide. Okay, let me talk about the weakness. One of Antonio Guterres' weakness is perceived inconsistency. He said frequent shifts in the style may have seen so inconsistent by some of the stakeholders. He said, we talk about his resilience. We said Antonio Guterres' approach depends heavily on accurate reading situation, which can be risky if he misinterprets a situation. So this is all Antonio Guterres' strength and his weakness draws the style of leadership. I will hand over to my colleague next.
Yeah, Faisal is here with you. So I'm going to present a path goal theory of the leadership. So leaders got follow towards achieving their goals, enhancing motivation by clarifying paths and the removing obstacles. So application to Goddard, so clarifying the United Nations mission and the addressing barriers and the engage with team members to overcome challenges. So in strengths motivates United Nations personal Goddard's guidance and the removal of bureaucratic obstacles motivate United Nations staff to work effectively toward global goals and enhance goals clarity by consistently outlining clear goals in weakness challenge with goal consistently in diverse setting. Given the varied culture and the political landscapes, so it can be difficult for gutters to establish universally motivating goals across different. So in weakness challenges with goal consistency in the diverse setting. Given the varied culture and the political landscape, it can be difficult for gutters to establish universally motivating goals across different regions and dependence on strong institutional sports. And the next one. Transformational and disruptive leadership approaches in the Antonio Guterres leadership style. So, transformational leadership focus on the inspiring and the empowering followers to achieve a shared visions. Application to Guterres demonstrate transformer leadership by the championing United Nations goals such as climate action and the human rights, and frequently appeals to a shared mission sustainable development goals, inspiring a sense of the purpose and the collective actions. And the in talk about the disruptive leadership, so challenges the established norms and the practice is to drive innovation and the change in stagnant system, often involving conventional approaches. In application to gutters, noun of pushing boundaries within the United Nations, gutters had worked to modernize and reform United Nations nation structures, questioning entrenched practices in promotes new initiates and the partnership that challenge traditional United Nations approach, aiming address contemporary global issue effectively. So in the next one is critical analysis of the transformational and disruptive leadership in gutter approach. So connectivity between transformer and disruptive leadership. So vision driven change. Both approaches emphasize the importance of complying vision. In the second one is a commitment to innovation and the program. Transformational leadership motivates people towards a shared mission. So how these approaches enhance understanding gutters leadership. So there is a mention, we can mention a 2 point transformational leadership, and the second one is a disruptive leadership. So in talk about the strength and the weakness. So in the strengths, transformational leadership in the foster global collaboration, like a Gutter's vision, inspired collection action across diverse nation, vital for the addressing transnational issues, and encourage adaptability. So in talk about the disruptive leadership, drives innovation and enhance responsiveness. So in the weakness is transformational leadership, a risk of our relies on vision, heavy reliance on inspiration, may sometimes lack concrete strategies which can delay practical action. Resistance to change, transformer effort may be met with resistance within a traditionally structured organization like the United Nations. So, this disruptive leadership potential to conflict and a risk of unpredictable. So, in unpredictable, frequent changing might lead to instability, especially in a complex, conscious driven organization like the United Nations. So, next, Mamuna will represent.
Thank you. So our second leader was Mariti Bara, for which we did analysis. Mariti Bara, she is the CEO of General Motors since 2014, first woman to lead a major global automaker. She is pioneered the shift towards the electrical vehicles and autonomous driving technology. And she focuses on the technological innovations and corporate culture transformation. We analyzed her through the skills theory of leadership, which is effective leadership is based on combination of technical human conceptual skills rather than innate traits. When we apply this theory on the Bara, we can see that the Bara exemplifies skill theory with her technical knowledge, interpersonal skills, and strategic vision. She also uses her deep understanding of automotive process to make informed decisions, and her collaborative approach build trust within General Motors. Strengths from the skills theory are it enables informed decision making. Bara's technical knowledge allows her to make well-informed decisions on the product development and innovations. And moreover, her people skills foster a collaborative environment, encouraging open communication, empowering General Motors employees and to contribute ideas. And the weaknesses from this theory includes high dependence on the skill development, like if our leader's skills do not evolve, they risk being outdated. Moreover, the potential of over focus on skills as compared to the vision, as emphasis on skills can occasionally overshadow the broader strategic vision, which could be critical in steering the company toward long-term goals. In the next slide, we have analyzed the path goal theory of leadership, which states that the leader guide and motivate their team by clarifying goals, removing obstacles, and providing support based on employers' need and tasks. Its application on Bara indicates that Bara uses path goal theory to motivate General Motors employees by setting clear goals for innovation, like leading in electric vehicle technology and aligning the organization toward the sustainable vision. And by adding the obstacles, for example, revamping the traditional manufacturing process, she facilitates a path for her team to achieve the General Motor goals. The strengths from this theory includes the enhancing the motivation and alignment. Vara's focus on removing the barriers and clarifying goals boost motivation and aligns employees' efforts with General Motors innovations goal. Moreover, the path goal theory allows Bara to adjust her leadership approach based on situational needs, such as adopting communication styles across the departments and the team needs. Whereas the weaknesses include the dependency on clear goals and rewards, which is when path goal theory may be less efficient if goals or incentives are unclear, which can be challenging in the dynamic and fast-paced industry like automotive manufacturing. Furthermore, customizing the leadership style for the different teams can be time intensive and may cause inconsistency and execution across a large organization like General Motors. In the next slide, we have analyzed the connectivity and critical analysis of skill and path goal theories for the in Bara leadership case, and in which the connectivity between skills and path goals theories indicates that the skill based path creation, Bara technical human skills enhance her ability to guide employees efficiently and address operational obstacles and as proposed by the path goal theory, whereas the motivational support through expertise are indicated by the skill theory enables Bara to support and motivate her team by bringing a depth of knowledge which aligns well with the path goal theory, focuses on empowerment and goal settings. Now, how we analyze that how these theories enhance the understanding of Bara's leadership. Through skill theory, it highlights Bara's expertise and interpersonal skills from the foundation of her credibility and influence on General Motors, and path goal theory illustrates her commitment to aligning the General Motors workforce with a shared vision by setting clear goals and removing the obstacles to innovations. Overall, we can conclude that the together skills and path goal theories offer a comprehensive framework for the understanding of Bara practical, expertise-driven, and sportive leadership approach, practically effective in our transforming industry. Next slide over to Mihat.
Thank you very much. So here I will talk about the transformation and the disruptive leadership approaches in the Marity Bora leadership style. So first we will talk about the transformational leadership that she have, because being a leader, she inspire and motivate followers towards her shared vision, which the vision which is like moving the engine cars towards the EV industry for the General Motors. And for this, she needs three things: by aligning the values and building a trust with the employees and the shareholders as well, and also driving innovation to carry out that what she had visions for. Applying to Bora, I talk about the General Motors implication that what she have made changes due to her transformational leadership. She changed the General Motor policies accordingly. She changed the overall, we can say, the core concept of the company, which was making vehicles, but she changes to the electric vehicles, which was a new challenge. But since she is a successful transformation leader, so she was successfully doing it. Next is the disruptive leadership. Disruptive leadership is actually challenging the previous norms, which is happening from years to year and decades to decades. So obviously, Marity Bora is like change the norms and challenge the overall the workflow of the General Motors towards something very different from what they were doing. So that was the innovation that she wants in the General Motors, and that was challenging the norms of the General Motors, and that's what shows the disruptive leadership of Marity Bora. In the next, I will talk about the critical analysis of the transformational and disruptive leadership in the Meritibara approach, and the connectivity between the transformational and disruptive leadership. Transformational is also transferring, changing something, and disruptive is challenging the norm. So both are like commonly something in common in there, which is like bringing something new to the table. So Meritibara is actually doing it. So it's very well connected, the transformational leadership of her, and as a disruptive leadership, it shows in her actions what she have done so far in the General Motors. Here are some of the strengths and weaknesses for that. The strength is for the transformational leadership is to build stronger organizational culture. She needs Bara emphasizes on transparency and inclusions, fosters and a collaborative culture, which means that Mary Tibara is building the organizational culture very strong in the General Motors, and encouraging long-term innovation. Obviously, by inspiring the commitment to innovation, she ensures General Motors stay competitive in evolving automotive industry. It's not just like you just want to change something and that's going to lose the company, because the position at she's right now the CEO of the General Motors. It's her duty to keep the company profitable for a long term, and for that she have to encourage the long-term innovation in the General Motors and convince people at every step that whatsoever she had vision, that's physically possible, and the feasibility for that. And the disruptive leadership is the accelerative innovation. Obviously, she is willing to challenge the traditional practice of General Motor making the engine cars, and she wants to change it to something advanced, which is the current market need. Next is the position General Motor as an industry leader. Obviously, General Motors is one of the oldest company in the automotive industry, and she don't want to lose that reputation due to her innovation thought. So that was the strength. For the weakness is the transformational risk of overemphasizes on vision. High emphasis on a vision and culture may sometimes leads to delay in the immediate decision making and making a lack of focus on the practical outcomes, and the resistance to change. Some people that are working from the decade in the one flow, they don't want to change. So it's a challenge for her to convince people to adopt the change and to work with it so they can be successful being a General Motor as an electric motor company. And the destructive leadership, the weakness is the potential of instability, the constant disruption, the disruption like in the workflow, disruption from the employees, disruption from the shareholder, the less confidence of the employees, and their low morale will affect the productivity of overall the General Motors. Challenging with the organizational buy-in, if disruptive strategy may lead to resistance, which I was talking already. So these are some of the challenges that she's going to face due to her transformation and disruptive leadership in the General Motors. Here are some of the recommendations for Antonio Guterres, and that was to enhance the crisis responsiveness, because things are like currently happening all over there, and being at a good position in the United Nations, it his duty to the response to increase the responsive mechanism of towards those problems and the strengthen a member state engagement. Obviously, being at a high position, to he needs to improve the transparency, because if the funds or anything that going toward from the UN to the deserving one, that should be on time and everything should be there for the people who need it, rather than get into corruption or something, because the goal is here to help people. So obviously, the climate change or other any disastrous things that governors do, that should help the people to get into the right time. They promote inclusively in the global decision making, create more avenues and underrepresented nations. They have to, for UN has to focus on those nations which are under de-represented, and they deserve more, or they have a potential to grow more, but they are neglected by the United Nations. Next is the recommendation of Merit Ibarra is to prioritize the ethical leadership in the workforce in transitions. Develop programs that support employee affected by automation of the EV shifts. Because if the company is moving from the engines toward the EV shifts, they need to work on it on the workforce. They have to arrange the we can say classes or any practical sessions for them to which will help them to adopt the change and everything. Increase the stakeholder engagement, actively involved in the employee and stakeholder in the General Motors transition processes to ensure trust and commitments. So everybody should trust the process until they achieve what they're working for. Expand the agile leadership trainings, equip General Motor leadership with the agility training to better adopt the industry changes. Because the higher the technology, the higher the skills, the higher the knowledge they have, they can do better in this field, and she can prove that her vision is physically possible. So these are some of the references for the content which used, and this that was it from our side. Thank you very much.